get to this chart. People are mentioning Scarface, man. I
I'm
don't think
covering face.
Scarface ain't on Rap a Lot anymore, is he?
Him and Prince had a thing some time ago about getting
Yeah,
his publishing and the ownership of his stuff. So I don't think so,
I
but I
don't
think
think
that
so.
they're still good.
Yeah. All right. These are the MCs that we got on the screen, and we went through the first five on Wednesday.
Hold on, can we do some caveat talk right quick?
Go ahead.
Um, Mike and I have heard what everybody has been saying. Like, first of all, I want to say that these rating system that we're working on, you all are involved in it, and so your critiques matter, your thoughts matter, your opinions matter. If ever there was a time when you need to be giving us your opinion and your thoughts, this is the time. A lot of what we're framing and reframing and continue to work around is the information being given by you all. It's much loved and much appreciated. We're taking on the task, but we're taking on the task with in mind that we have the people and the people's support and the people's input in mind with that. A couple of things have been brought to our attention, and we want to start addressing them in a more stringent manner. Some
Yeah.
of you all feel like Mike and I have not been tough enough with the grading scores. I agree with that sentiment, and actually, so does Mike. Is that fair?
Yeah, we got to get tougher. And we agree with what you guys are saying. We definitely got to get tougher on some of the ratings.
Right. So revisionist wise, we're going to try today to maybe try to revisit some things and clear some things up after we go through the crop that needs to be covered. But also, too, we want to start clarifying some of the categories more clearly to disseminate some things. I know lyrics and catalog and us changing the bar measure on them and how they're rated has changed some things too, and also brought more questions into play. And so we need to get more case specific about the things that we're doing a higher rating of. And so we're going to try to start unpacking all of those things this evening as well in the time that we have left.
And none of
Thank
these, and not to interrupt you, but I wanted to piggyback on that and say none of these are just set in stone. These things are kind of ever changing based on you guys' comments, points that are being made, and one of the comments that I read since our last episode that I really liked, somebody was saying that we need to break down the lyrics category into pieces, and I
you.
think that is a really good observation. Even if we did rate, how do we say it? I want to say which one was it? It was like literary. They had like five different
No,
categories that make up the lyric category, and even if we did that in a way where it was like 5 points max a piece to make up that lyric category, I think that was a really astute observation because a lot of us look at what makes a lyricist great differently. And if we
right.
can break down those individual traits that we like in lyricists, like, okay, punchline, um, I guess lyrical, whatever. I forgot the categories. I'm having a brain freeze right now, but I did like that notion. And yeah, these things are ever changing. It's not set in stone, and that's why we have these conversations.
No, I'm going to try to pull up his comment specifically because I know which one you're talking about because it's the one that grabbed me the most too, and we need to give that person a shout out for doing that.
Okay, yeah. I think I know exactly where it's at. But let's get to the chart for the month. Are you looking for it right now, or?
I'm looking for it right now, so if you want to try to go like,
All right, I'll go to the
you
chart
want me
right.
to do the opposite, yeah.
Actually, I'll go to the chart. I'll look for it, and because I want to know what you gave certain people.
Here it goes.
Okay.
JB was here. This lyrics category has. This is from JB was here.
Okay.
The lyrics category has to be broken down. It's just too broad to be accurate. Wordplay,
Well,
vocabulary, creativity, punchlines, techniques, literary devices, and rhyme schemes should be taken into account. There is absolutely no way that if you rate those individually, that people like Scarface, Tupac, Ice Cube, etc., should be scoring as high as Rakim, Nas, Common, etc. Lyrics should be fire on paper before they are ever spit without the music. Now, I agree with everything except for the last part, because the last part, I would bring Tupac into the situation, be like, oh, well, read Tupac shit, and that shit fire before it gets spit out, and not on the par with Nas, Rakim, and Big, which would kind of speak to what you feel about lyrics, Mike, which is why we need to clarify this shit more.
yeah, I think that we really got to examine that. And again, this is This is something that's continuously evolving, and that's why I think that once we're finally done with it, it'll be solid. And I think that discussions like this, they need constant view and constant conversation to be solid.
So hold on, let's finish reading some of this thread because it's fascinating. Because guess who jumped into this thread, Mike? Good old Leroy Green.
Where's Leroy Green at today, man? He's missing the show.
Man, damn Leroy. I don't know why not. He said, I don't know why not. But listen to what he says. This is what I mean about how we got to start breaking it down. Pac, Cube, and Scarface were outside when Rakim, Nas, and Common were, and they had a lot of points on the board. Leroy strong when he says that. And that's where your point becomes strong about Pac as a lyricist, because technically, what you talk about when you talk about Pac as a lyricist, well, that applies to Scarface and Ice Cube. And what did I tell you about how they're really grouped together with content, subject matter, approach, time that they stepped in the game, who they're influenced by? Because all those guys, ask them their favorite MCs. They'll tell you KRS-One, Rakim, Chuck D.
No, real.
Lyricists.
Yeah.
Lyricists with content.
And they were influenced by the actual lyrics.
And because of the content and subject matter. So what you find with Tupac and Ice Cube and Scarface is that they are content heavy like a motherfucker, and that influences the strength of the lyrics. How do we separate it and disseminate it from somebody like Rakim, who goes on a 3-minute spaz on microphone theme? Yeah. How do we separate these things? And here's what JB was here replied to Leroy Green. Just because Cube ain't speaking the King's English properly doesn't make it any less colorful. Ooh, there's strong stuff going on.
It is strong stuff going on. I love these conversations. I want these conversations to keep going so that we can get an ironclad number for these people. I mean, all right, let's get into it. Let's get into it real quick.
Let's get into it. Yeah. Right. I just want to say that. So I just want people to know that it's like, oh, me and Mike reading all this stuff and scoping and framing it around that, not just our viewpoints, because, well, quite frankly, we're definitely not God, but we're also not like rap gods. This shit matters to everybody. So the things that everybody's saying in the chat, even Leroy Green, they matter.
AKA Memphis Bleak. Yeah, there's only one rap god, and that's Marshall Mathers.
I was thinking Rakim.
Yeah.
But
no, of course it is. I'm joking. I saw some people in the chat saying that we gave Little Kim more than Prodigy. It looks like Prodigy has a 145 and Kim has a 143. So, but today we're on T.I. T.I., Lauryn Hill, Emcee Light, Scarface, and Jadakiss.
Yeah.
T.I. lyrics, I gave him a 14.
So did I. But here's what I'm going to submit to you is that if we're going to be tougher,
that might need to be a 13.
Because I'm probably about to take Pac down to a 13.
Yeah, we got to get tougher. And you know what? I think lyrically, they're in the same vein.
Yep.
Even though I think Pac is a better lyricist, slightly. But I think that they're both 13s.
See, I think Tip might be the better lyricist. I think Pac is a superior content person and songwriter.
I think Tip got the better flow and delivery and all. Well, no, I don't.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Right. Yeah. He's the better lyricist.
Okay. Okay, we can live at 13. Jay Short was like, T.I. is a 13 lyrically. Okay.
Right.
Voice. I gave Tip an 8 on voice.
So did I.
Okay. Delivery, I gave him a 10.
I gave him a 9.
Ooh, man, listen. I think T.I. has one of the best flows out there. Riding in Atlanta through the Phantom with the double doors. Like when he gets on that shit, I'm busting folk. Anybody trying grand hustle folk? Yeah.
You want to know what I'm finding out? Is that delivery is a super important component to an MC.
It is.
And a lot of guys' deliveries outweigh their content and their skills.
I'm 22 in the game and super cool, still a threat at the same time. And then the fact that from I'm serious to there, he changed it all the way up. Like
no. I was giving him a 9, but then I thought about his array of flow.
Yeah, he got a lot of flows.
He's got an array. he's got
I think that's probably his strongest area to me.
I'm about to say he's got car show flows. It's like, no, Tip can put different flows out on the lot that you want to buy. You're right.
I think that and his versatility, but his flow and delivery helps his versatility.
It's part of it. Yeah, they play well off each other. Yes.
Okay, storytelling. I gave him a 9. That might be too high.
That's too high. I gave him an 8, and I was even thinking the 8 might be too high because
I'll go with 8. When he does tell stories, he's good at it. You know,
no.
It's just not enough evidence, as you would say.
Right. So here's where the evidence needs to start coming in. How about this, Mike? And here's how I'm feeling right now.
I love this episode, by the way.
Yeah, me too. This is one of my favorite episodes too. To get a 9 or a 10 on storytelling, you got to have evidence for 5 to 10 classic storytelling songs, and I don't think he has that, so it's an 8.
Okay.
Yeah, you need at least 5 to 10 to get a 9 or a 10.
Because if I can't off top say, yo, that's a classic storytelling song. Right. That's one of the best hip hop songs. Yeah.
And here's why I'm going to say this. It's like we based our storytelling bar based on Nas.
Based on Slick Rick, based on Biggie, Scarface.
Right. And so what I'll submit to you is that on The Greatest Adventures of Slick Rick has more important stories and impactful stories than T.I. has done in his whole career on one album. So there's no way he's a 9 or a 10.
Okay.
And so 8 is actually being nice, and it's probably closer to a 7 if we're gonna start being more difficult.
We got to be more difficult. It might end up being a 7.
It's all a 7, right? And we're gonna go back and revisit the stuff that we had time to do, and probably on Wednesday we're probably gonna have to do a revisitation show where it's like, well, we've gone back and adjusted some ratings and redone some scores.
Oh, definitely. Black Jesus says that Chuck D has the greatest voice, or one of the greatest voices in hip hop. I totally agree. You got to be special to cut through that Bomb Squad production, man. That's chaotic shit. Not everybody can do that.
Tell Black Jesus that me and my daughter, we put our armor on and we cover ourselves in the blood every day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Catalog of albums, I went 14.
I did too. Album catalog is great. But this is another thing that I'm going to say, and it's unfortunate that we're kind of starting here with Tip because I told you he's the most versatile MC to ever come out of the South. How are we going to start rating these album catalogs? Because here's how I feel like
he started dropping off.
Huh?
He started dropping off.
He did. So is it a 14? Because
it is a 14. If we rate it on that scale where it's like, okay, how many greats and how many not so greats? But see, this is the thing too. And I hate to bring up this artist because people will think we're shitting on him, but Kendrick has a row of great albums. But then he just stopped. And at some point, do you give people points for continuously going? Or that's just another category, I guess.
See, what I have to say is that what we have to do is we have to weight you on a scale where you actually belong, which means you have to actually make enough material to get into some of these conversations now. And that's what I mean about us getting tougher, which means, guess what? We really can't rate Kendrick's catalogs of albums because he hadn't done enough fucking work to get rated.
I think he's done enough to get rated. I think that the gap is a lot.
I don't, because here's what's going to happen. If you rate him for the 5 albums, is 5 the buy-in is what you're saying?
Well, I mean, one would say, if we're rating Biggie, if we're
because
rating,
here's what I'm going to tell you is that Jay-Z, Nas, and Scarface and Ghostface have more quality albums than he even has releases. And so why should they suffer from their subpar releases because this nigga don't like to go to work?
We're saying the same thing. Because that's what I was saying too. Like, you know, when it comes to T.I.'s catalog, at some point we got to give him props for continuously going.
No, right.
And you know, other than quitting in your prime.
We need to start No, I'm agreeing with you about T.I. I'm saying, how many albums did Kendrick make?
We can't give Kendrick a perfect score because he's not dead.
Because people ask us to be tougher. It's like, well, understand this nigga ain't put in the work. So get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like people like,
Yeah.
why you being so hard on Kendrick? Well, now you're seeing why. Because it's not fair to give him a 15 and to give T.I. a 14. Because T.I.'s done so much more work than him.
Right.
And if you
And he has way more room for error.
way more room for error. And so it's not fair to rank Kendrick catalog so high anymore because guess what? He's not been going to work. So he about to lose points on his catalog. And not about the strength on it, but on the fact that it's like, well, shit. Jay got 7, 8 quality albums I can go pull up. What your shit look like again?
No, that's real.
That's real.
And then you got Nas out here who just dropped 4 albums in the past 4 years.
Nas just did almost his career output in terms of quality in a 5-year stretch.
Crazy. So yeah, we can't rate him that high.
Nas almost had his career in a 5-year stretch. I'm going to say that again for everybody keep rating him so high. Nas almost had his whole career in the last 5 years.
Joe Bro says that Kendrick's catalog shits on T.I. Okay. But do you No. Let me ask this question to the people. If there was a versus matchup, who's winning that?
Destroyed. Go pull them 20 Kendrick.
We'll talk about catalog. Go out there and pull up 20 Kendrick joints and pull up 20 T.I. joints, and y'all go head to head then.
Every day I'm struggling. Every day I'm struggling.
All right. Collaborations, I gave him a 10.
I did too. This is a guy that can get up on Jeezy's Bang with Scrappy and Jeezy, but then do Robin Thicke's Blurred Lines.
3, 4, 5, 6. Yep.
Hold on. Where are we at with catalog for T.I. though? Because I got him more like a 13 when I think about it.
Catalog, yeah, let's go with 13.
Yep. And he's just the first one to catch a bad one. We going back.
We're going to go back, yeah.
We handing these L's back out. The collaborations are a 10, though, and I agree with you on that.
Longevity of records, though, man. I gave him a 9, and now I'm thinking a little bit more 8. I don't know how well T.I.'s music has aged. Where are you at as far as, like, how... Because I know I'm a little bit biased because I have the nostalgia of being here in Atlanta when his shit hit. So it kind of aged well for me.
No, me too. Hold on.
Xavier Logistics says home cooking.
Look, no. I was about to say, our homie Chris Hardaway, who you actually went to high school with that I didn't meet till y'all graduated from high school. Mike, he called me when I was in Cobb in Gwinnett, like, yo, get here now, motherfucker. Like, I'm thinking we got some shit going on. I'm grabbing my pistol. I ride to meet this fool at the Dave and Buster's in Gwinnett. He wants to play trap music for me.
Yeah. It changed the landscape.
Dude, I'm thinking we about to go to a trap. I'm thinking I'm about to get trapped. I'm thinking we going to jail tonight. He wanted to play this damn rap album that he thought might have been the best rap album to ever come out the South.
It changed everything. And again, you kind of had to be here to know. I think a lot of the mass public nationally, and I think the Southeast knew, but most people nationally didn't get hip to T.I. and to Urban Legend, and Bring Him Out was kind of his coming out party to them. The trap music changed everything, man. And a lot of people didn't get onto it until Rubber Band Man. Rubber Band Man was like, what, the third, maybe fourth single off of trap music?
Fourth single.
Yeah, man. It changed.
Because he did.
I think Let's Get Away was it was the fourth single because it was 24's. Be Easy. Yeah, Be Easy. Then Let's Get Away, and then Rubber Band Man.
Rubber Band Man.
Yeah.
Right.
But how well do you think his music aged, though? Let's be fair.
Here's what I say about longevity of records. So here's where we need to start getting stricter again. And here goes with this. I'm starting to treat the shit like dominoes. It's like 5 to 10 to get in, depending on what hood you from. So longevity of records. Does he have 5 records that are all-time great enough that they are still getting spun today? Because here's what I mean. I think for longevity of records, LL is probably the bar of that, because I think you can go pull 10 LL records that still get spun in some sort of shape, form, or format today. How many records does Tip have like that? Because if he doesn't have at least 5, that's not a 9 or a 10. He needs at least 5 to get a 9.
I think he's more of an 8. And honestly, even with that being said, some of his stuff does sound a little dated, and people in the chat are saying that.
Yeah.
I think that his first album, I'm Serious, is definitely dated. Nobody plays anything off of that one.
Right. I feel like 24s and What You Know are the ones that get played the most. And then he gets Blurred Lines credit, which would probably be 3. And after
I don't
that,
like using stuff like blur lines for longevity of records because
right, but
that's yeah,
what you know in 24s are the only thing that I know for certain still
yeah.
play all the time.
I think I think you could possibly hear "You Don't Know Me" and don't feel like it's dated, but I don't think that it gets played like that.
It doesn't get played like that.
Yeah. Okay, so
Because here's what I'm
I'm good
saying.
with a 7 or 8 in that category, and I hate we're starting this tough thing on tip, but it is what it
No,
is.
we're gonna go back a little bit because some of this stuff is gonna make us revisit, and everybody gonna catch this smoke. Because here's what I want to tell you something. You know, somebody who's about to score low in a lot of categories, but their longevity of records is probably gonna be a 10. ECE.
Easy E, okay.
Yeah, Easy got
Yeah,
about
his
5 or 10
records aged
records that
well.
live forever. Right. You see what
Yeah.
I'm saying about how we got to get tougher and be honest? It's like, well, is Tip a better MC than Easy? On every fucking level except for longevity of records.
People in the chat, man, they're basically saying that his stuff didn't age that well. So we gotta listen to the people. Let's go 7 in that.
So, okay.
All right, 7 on that one. And longevity of career, I gave him a 10 there.
I gave him a 9. He got into the TV stuff.
Okay. And he did have some breaks when it came to, legal issues. Songwriting skills, man, I gave him a 9. I think he's a really good songwriter.
I gave him a 10.
Okay. I'm not mad at that either.
Songwriting skills are not in question.
No, I agree with that.
Anything.
I thought I was being too generous if I was going to go 10.
Here's how I knew his songwriting skills were on 10. Go to King. Let's go to King. Let's go to Front and Back remake, UGK. Oh, so you know how to remake the classics.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to What You Know. You know how to make your own classic. Let's go to Talking About You. Oh, you got a Microphone Fiend record. Well, let's go to track 5. You got Live in the Sky. You got an in-depth story, thoughtful, touching story. His songwriting skills are a 10. He can do it all. It's right there.
Even though I'm serious, when I didn't think he was there all the way, he still had I still ain't forgave myself.
Yes, no. Yeah. So his songwriting skills are there. You want to know who I think about? When I think about him as a songwriter, he is very much what Common is to the Midwest is what he is to the South to me as a songwriter.
We got a super chat from Ryan Gillum. He says that T.I.'s album King and Paper Trail has a lot of hits on it. Catchy and very lyrical. Yes. All right.
I agree. Agreed. Urban legend too.
This is the thing, man. I gave his legacy an 8. Go ahead.
I gave his legacy a 9, but please.
The way people talking about him in the chat right now just kind of proves this. Like I think that similar to the LL conversation, we know what T.I.'s impact is, but I feel like over time, it's gotten lost somehow.
Is he the LL of the South?
Possibly.
Oh, I don't like that for him because
Wayne gets all that GOAT talk, and people act like he's not even on Wayne's level.
So let's go ahead and just say this now. And this is what I mean about how we're going to have to go back. I don't think Wayne's catalog is really fucking with Tip's catalog. What say you?
You know how I feel about that.
Right.
I think T.I. has the better catalog album for album, but I will say this. All the work that Wayne put in, mixtapes and this and the features and all that, it makes that argument cloudy.
No, it doesn't. Here's what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, so, Mike, who are your top 5 running backs of all time?
Oh, man, that's a tough question off top. Number 1, I would say Barry Sanders.
Yep. Stop right there, Mike. We don't need to go any further. Barry Sanders played 10 seasons.
Yeah.
If that's all you needed to see. Mike, Jim Brown, 9 seasons. All you needed to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's given us enough of what we need to see. That's why I say no. He's the most, don't know Emcee coming out of this region have trap music.
Joe Bros, yes, we do count mixtapes. Go ahead.
Paper Trail lined up and then got the mixtape shit that's great. The Down with the Kings 1 and 2. No, Mike, just off those 6 right there, and this is Scarface included. Go show me an MC that ever came out of the South that in a 10-year period put out put out 6 quality albums like that. If you're talking the mixtape shit, go with them 2, Down with the Kings, and everything from trap music to Paper Trail. It's like, don't nobody from the South got it like that. That's Wayne and Face included about catalog. And Face catalog is better, but that's about the extension of it from 91 all the way going up to like deeply rooted in 2016, Mike.
No, I agree with you 100%.
No bad songs for 15, 16 years. But like we talking about in a vacuum, oh no, Tip.
Gray 88 says Legacy is an 8. His antics and social media persona have hurt him a little. The King of the South era holds him up. And that, I think that is a very accurate assessment.
What have I told you about how I don't like that?
I think even his legal issues have hurt his legacy.
No, we're gonna dock him 1 for the media and another for the legal issues, because I told you a lot of the way people talk about Wayne is actually how they were talking about Tip before he got locked up.
I mean, shoot, even Jeezy, I think has upheld Legacy better than T.I., and I think T.I. is leaps and bounds better than Jeezy. And his catalog in every category. In every category.
I told you this. In every category, he's better. But I told you, in their prime, I was more probable to listen to Jeezy.
That's interesting from you because you're a lyrics guy.
I'm a lyricist, but Jeezy embodies that feel like very few rappers have.
We got to do Rick Ross next time, man.
Like when Jeezy's like, I got court today. I don't need to go. I don't need to show. I got shit to do. Only God can judge me. Who the fuck is you? That's the shit real niggas feel, Mike. It don't matter how lyrical you are when you saying shit like that. Because I done had days where I done had court and it's like, man, I really don't even want to go up in here. Right. I should just run right now.
All right, man. Let's get back to it, man.
Right. You speak
live performance. Live performance, I gave him an 8.
Actually, Mike, I've seen him live. And I actually saw him and Wayne live when they were both in their prime. Tip's a better performer than Wayne live in their prime. I gave him a 9.
You gave him a 9. I'm not mad at that.
Gave him a 9.
He got epic performances too, man. That's where that whole flip thing came from. That's when
you know what? His energy, and this is what I mean. Wayne is a rock star. Sometimes rock stars are too cool.
Mm-hmm.
A rap star with big energy, to quote Lotto's song. Tip get on stage with big energy every time. That energy Lotto talking about, Tip get on stage with that energy every time, Mike.
Content, I gave him an 8. I might should have went up on that.
Content, I gave him an 8 too. It's a lot of dope boy talk early on, Mike. He really doesn't diversify until King. Some on Urban Legend.
Intangibles, I gave him a 9.
I gave him a 10.
Okay, I ain't mad at that. Hook game, I gave him a 9.
Mike, he said he was King of the South when he was nowhere near being close to it, and he actually became that.
Yeah.
Like something about him when he said he was about to be that lyrically, voice-wise, delivery-wise, song-wise. None of it said he was going to be there. He ended up being there. His intangibles are a 10.
Hook game, 9.
I gave him a 10, but actually when I think about that and us being tougher, I was actually thinking Hook game might be an 8, but we can go 9.
8 or 9, possibly.
No, we can go 9. I'm cool with 9.
Versatility, 10.
Yep.
That's a round out.
Hook game being a 9.
What's that?
That's why I'm cool with the hook game being a 9, because I feel like his versatility is actually where his hook game shines. He's not the greatest hook writer sometimes.
All right, so next up we got Lauryn Hill. Lyrics, I gave her a 15.
So we don't have a choice.
Voice, I gave her a 10.
We don't have a choice.
Delivery, I gave her a 10.
We don't have a choice.
Storytelling, I gave her an 8.
I gave her a 7, and I might go lower. Where are her stories? Because I told you need 5 great stories that are like considered.
I can go 7.
Well, no.
Because a lot of the stuff is introspective, right? Like even if you talk about doo-wop or whatnot, you know what I mean? It's like
fair.
It's like she's talking to you. She has that whole. It's a weird comparison, but her and Jay-Z do similar things. They're not like telling you straight up like Slick Rick type of stories or Biggie type of stories, but every time they spit, it's damn near a story. You know what I mean?
You know what? They have the same brilliant gift. They are introspective and conversational.
They are.
It's crazy that they both have that gift because they are succinctly different in terms of how they approach it.
Someone says Zion. Yeah,
That's not a rap song.
it's not a
We don't
rap song.
rap shit. This is according to hip hop. That's why I said, where's the evidence?
Yeah.
I'm so tired of people getting killed out here and you all not having evidence to the crime. This nigga don't rap like that. She just rap more than Andre. Next.
So we going 7 on that?
Yeah, I guess. I was thinking 6 because I don't see the evidence. But I'm about to start being tough for real because they're right. We need to be tougher. There's not no evidence of her real rap storytelling ability, Mike. Because think about it, when we give Big L, hold on, if we give Big L or Big Pun a 7 for storytelling, and I know for a fact that Big Pun and Big L got stories, and she don't really got any. What are
The
we
Mask
doing?
is a story. It's one verse, but
Is it The Mask with Rod Digger?
No. It's on the Fugees album.
That's
not Cowboys, but yeah,
no,
The
no,
Mask.
that's Cowboys.
Everyone wears the mask. Yeah. The Mystery of Iniquity, was that a story?
That's what y'all pulling? 6. 6. 6.
Hold on. I feel like I'm missing some things.
I want evidence. No, we don't have evidence. It's a 6 because people are right. We got to start being tougher. We just gave her look at what we just did.
Because I was like, what about the Wyclef song? The
Guantanamera?
No, not Guantanamera. It was well, she was like yellow cheese bus getting beatings if I cuss.
Yes, the other one. Yeah, right. So y'all got 2 right now. That's it. No, because listen, we gotta be fair, but we gotta be fair on both sides. Are her lyrics a 10, a 15, even though she didn't provide us with a lot? Well, yeah.
I was thinking about that.
Is her voice and delivery clearly a 10? Well, yeah. Now she didn't provide us with a lot of lyrics, but we know that her lyrics are a 15.
Yeah.
But the same way that we know she didn't provide us with a lot of lyrics and we're giving her a 15, don't act like she provided us with a lot of stories and she deserves a 7 with people who have provided us with stories. And this is what I mean about us getting tougher. She taking this 6.
Okay. Mr. Miller says Manifesto, Outro, and The Mask are stories. But yeah, it's just not enough when we compare it to...
Enough. Nas got a greatest hits of stories. Slick Rick almost did a greatest hits of stories on his first record.
Let me get to Darnell Lee's super chat real quick before we get to the next thing. He says, somebody in the chat just said they rather listen to Master P over T.I. They need to be banned. We're not gonna block people for their opinions.
Responsible. Yeah, we're not responsible for what people do in the chat.
Like my man Star says on his show, man, y'all get down for your crown. Get down for your crown. Okay. So Lauryn Hill, we're going to take her down on the storytelling. We're going to take her down to a 7 or 6.
Okay, so what I'm trying to say is, and this is where I mean we got to start getting tougher and clarifying. Okay, so how about this? What does a 7 entail? Because here's how I feel. To be even considered for a 9, it's like you need to have 5 to get in. And really, to get a 10, to get a 9, you need to have 5. To get a 10, you probably really need to have 10. And that's what I mean about getting tougher. It's like, well, if you got 5 great stories and we can identify them and qualify them, well, then, yeah, I'm probably comfortable with giving you a 9.
I think 6 is fine.
Huh?
I think 6 is fair.
That's what I'm saying, because it's like, how about this? She don't even got as many stories as T.I. What we just give him?
Didn't he get like an 8 or 7 or something?
He got a 7. That's what I'm saying. Right. She don't have the material like that.
Shout out to Midget Mike for the super chat. He said, what if Big Boy dropped an album called The Rise and Fall of Outkast? I would support it.
It's very problematic.
I would support it 100%. 110%. He deserves that. Rigger Raw says, Ayo, non-plus is right. Why not a 1 through 100 scale each? Oh my God, we will be here all day. Come on now.
Counting all day. Like, hey, first.
We're glad you guys enjoyed the conversation, but if we were 1 through 100, there would be no way we could find scores.
No, y'all understand we have to do other stuff, right? Y'all do understand that, right?
Lauryn Hill, catalog of albums. Now this is gonna get real disrespectful. I went 7. But but
no, catalog is out of 15. So you gave her a 7 out of 15?
yeah, I gave her 7 out of 15.
Oh. I gave her an 8, so
Ryan Gillum says Lauryn Hill doesn't have enough albums. And you know what really kills her? When we talk about the Andre 3000 comparison, Outkast has a catalog.
they
Fuji's
do.
got
And
2
Fuji's
albums, and one is good.
right. Fuji's got Blunted on Reality in the score, which means
That's
you got
what hurts
a dud.
her.
You got a dud, and then you got a Scud Missile. And then you got a couple bars on Wyclef's album, which is dope. Right.
And she rapped a lot on her, well, not a lot. In comparison to Andre, she
did
rapped
enough
a
to get
good
in this
bit.
conversation on her album. That's what she did. She did enough to get in this conversation.
Exactly.
7 on catalog of albums.
The score got her in this conversation.
Pretty much.
7 out of 15.
Pretty much. How many mics in Ready or Not more than anything else got her in this conversation?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I felt like I was being disrespectful when I did it, but collaborations, I went 7.
So did I. Who she collaborate with? She sung on Nas's If I Ruled the World. We got our verse on Nobody, which was the verse of the year until Nas made The Truth. What do we have other than that? And we got Guantanamera off the Carnival. And
Well, the Carnival, there was kind of a collective anyway. You know what I'm saying? That was a refugee camp when she was still a part of it.
She did 3 verses on the Carnival, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
She did 3 verses on the Carnival. She's got a verse on King's Disease too. So that's 4 in a quarter century outside of her rap stuff. I'm sorry. It's something about me stating the facts being problematic here.
The only reason why she's even at a 7 is because of the quality of these collaborations. She was on. She was on Common's joint.
Right.
Okay.
She doesn't play industry games, so she doesn't collab 7.
Longevity of records, I went 9.
I went 10.
Okay. I'm fine with that.
Because this is what I mean. You need 5 to get a 9 or a 10. Well, here's what I know, and I know this for certain. Well,
Turn Your Light Down Low, good one.
No, I'm about to say, they play Turn Your Lights Down Low. Yeah. They play Ready or Not. They play Fuji La. They play Killing Me Softly. They play Doo-Wop. They play Zion. They play Nothing Even Matters. No, she got about 5 to 10 records that they still play. Her longevity of records is on 10 because when she actually made records, Mike, she was arguably the best person at it, rapping or singing. It's just, never mind. I'm going to stop being shady. Longevity of records.
Longevity of career, 6.
5.
Okay, I'm not going to argue that. 5. Songwriting skills, 10.
Mike, I put stars around it, 10.
Legacy, 10. Live performer, 9.
Nope.
Oh, I see where you're going to go here.
No. You will not be getting a 10. You won't be getting a 9. Your ass won't be getting an 8.
I didn't even think about her lateness when I was writing this down. That's crazy.
You're not getting a 6 because here was my thing, Mike. I had started to be cool with it until she hopped on King's Disease with the worst part of the best rhyme that I ever heard in my life is when this nigga had the audacity to step on record and say, I'm saving souls and y'all complaining about my lateness. It's like, well, this is how you pay your motherfucking bills. So maybe you can do the soul saving after the show, seeing how everybody adores you and is going to wait for your ass afterwards. On top of that, vocally, when you
dismissing it.
No. Vocally, when you showed up on time, and on time for you is within the 2-hour time frame of the show, not the 4-hour time frame of you letting people down. You show up and you're not vocally on point like you used to be. Most of your great show shit attached to the Fugees. Your ass was late one time, vocally not on point another time, and then most of your catalog and rundown of records consisted of Fugees material. That is not the thing that a 10 performance is made of. Fuck all that. 5.
5. Okay.
5.
Okay. All right. Look.
No,
Here's a
no,
quick little
no, no,
story.
no, no. Go save souls and take this 5 ranking for your live performance because all your great live performances are actually Fuji's live performances. So the same way I'm talking about Andre and his cat, 5. 5.
Look,
1, 2,
man.
3, 4.
Look. All
5.
right. All right. There was a whole thing at what was it? Chastain Park, right? It was she all right. Chastain Park closed down at 10.
That's the white people in the neighborhood doing that.
And so yeah, it closed down at 10. Right. That's the neighborhood thing. And so the show was
The
supposed
white
to
people
start
in the
at I think
neighborhood.
7:30 or 8 or something. She showed up at like 9:30. Was only able to do 2 songs, and they had to shut it down. And she told people that she couldn't find the venue or something like that.
Now hold on.
And
So
and
let me
then the
stop for a
neighbors
second.
was like, "No, you were here warming up, practicing, and everything."
Let me preface a couple things. First of all, that is the toughest venue in Atlanta to find and to locate and
Oh
to
man,
put the
come on, man. We got
no, no, no,
GPS and
no, no,
everything.
no, 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 because these white people have insulated inside of their comfortable little neighborhood and sectioned it off and made it uncomfortable. It is the most insulated a concert venue that you'll ever find. These white people around here are awful with how they run their community. I'm so sick of your shit. I just want to say that live. I'm talking to everybody that lives down there. I don't give a fuck how you feel. You
You
know who
ain't
you
feeling
are and what
that?
you do. Secondly, I want to say Erica Badu actually did the same thing one time, and I find her performances to be a 10 because more often than not, she doesn't have a history of doing fuck shit. And so what I'm trying to tell you is that Lauryn Hill Chastain thing looks worse because there's other history attached to it of her doing stuff. The same thing actually happened to Erica Badu once, except for guess what? It was Erica, and she is so notorious and legendary for giving a great show that everybody was just like, "Oh damn, that really happened. Our bad. Our bad. We coming back to see Erica." She didn't get no flex. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Because there wasn't other things attached to her, and so that Chastain thing, that's part of her legacy as a performer because there are other things attached to it. That has happened to other black performers. All the black performers be showing up to Chastain late. Frankie Beverly and Maze showed up late when I was there.
All right,
Frankie
let's
Beverly
get
and
to
Maze
it.
was there. I was like, these niggas got arthritis or something. What's going on? I'm in all white. I bought my cooler.
Content 10.
Yeah, content's a 10.
Intangibles 10.
7.
7.
You can't even trust her to show up for a show. What is she intangibly?
Intangibles. See, I'm thinking about her presence, aura, and everything that she brought to being a Fuji member. Like she
No,
was
no, no, no.
the
That's all wrapped in stuff that is evident though. Lyrics 15, voice 10, delivery 10, longevity of records 10, content 10, songwriting skills 10. No, those like she does what she does well. She's like Mike. She's arguably like you understand her talent level is closer to Prince and Michael Jackson and Stevie Wonder than it is a rapper.
No, it's real. She's
That's real.
incredibly
So
talented.
her intangibles aren't off the charts. If
I see
anything,
what you mean.
yeah, right. She has all the gifts and she hasn't done shit with them. 7.
Hook game
I don't
10.
want to say that. No, no, no. That's disrespectful. Let me backtrack that and not get too personal with it. But her intangibles are not a 10, Mike. She is arguably the most gifted person in the sphere of black music in the last 30 years, and she has very little to show for it. 7. And that is being generous.
Hook game 10.
Hook game is a 10.
Versatility 9.
Versatility 2 is a 10. In 1998, you can make an argument that she is the best singer in the world and the best rapper in the world. Nobody's ever been able to say that.